Hello, my name is Louise and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing an updated Paul McCartney album tier list. This is like my fourth attempt recording this because my iPad doesn't want to have audio or it just wants to glitch like a bitch. Before I continue, I just want to say this is my own opinion. Please feel free to discuss civilly in my comments. If you're curious about how this compares to the original video, I will have that in my description. The tiers that I have are best, amazing, great, good, okay, meh, bad, awful, haven't heard. I'm gonna do the ones I haven't heard first, just to get those out of the way. I don't know what this red one is, and I've never heard much of the Firemen. I know like one song by them. And then this Russian one, I haven't heard either. Okay, everything else I've heard at least enough to have an opinion. I do want to apologize as well for all the ads. Hopefully they're not too distracting. I can't really do much to get rid of them. So yeah, I'm just going to go through from Please Please Me all the way to Band on the Run. And hopefully we can just get this done without any glitchiness and issues. Alright, so Please Please Me is very iconic. It has Chains and I Go to Him, Love Me Do, and of course Please Please Me, among many others. It was first released in 1963. And it is iconic for starting the boys' careers. And there's a lot of memorable songs. It's not my favorite though. There's a few albums and things that I like more, especially in a Paul McCartney's perspective. I think there's a lot better work. But it's iconic for what it is. I'm gonna put it in the amazing category. Alright, next up is With the Beatles. This album, I gotta be honest, I do not get into it as much. I don't hate it or anything. There's definitely some good songs like Money, That's What I Want, just as a standout. And I Wanna Be Your Lover, Baby, I Wanna Be Your Man, which I think ended up being covered by the Stones. And I think the Stones version is more popular. I could be wrong on that. Please don't kill me. I don't really get into it that much. I don't hate it or anything, but there's just something about it that I just can't get into. I've listened to it a lot, but I just can't get into it. I think I'm gonna put it in the okay category. Alright, A Hard Day's Night. First off, A Hard Day's Night is my favorite Beatles movie. It's so iconic. He's very clean. The songs are amazing too, like A Hard Day's Night, of course, and I Love Her, I Should Have Known Better With a Girl Like You, just to name a few. Very iconic. One of the best of the Beatles stuff. I think I'm gonna put it into amazing and ahead of, Please Please Me. Beatles for Sale is another one I can't really get into it. And it's even harder for me to get into it than with the Beatles. I really don't know why. I really wish I could give an explanation. Again, I guess the only explanation and excuse I can give is I don't hate it. It's just, I can't get into it. And I think I'm gonna have to put it into okay and behind with the Beatles. Oh, no, nah. There we go. Hello, it's Louise editing this. Come to find out, audio turned off again. I have no idea what the fuck is happening. And I think I might have to do this for all the other parts of the video. So yay for stupidity on technology's end. I'm trying to do this tier list off the top of my head, but of course, thoughts come and go when you do that. So I'm going to come out right now and say my explanations that I'm going to say here might be different than what I actually said when I originally recorded the screen recording. Does that make sense? Are we all good?
Great.
Alright, next is Help. This is actually my favorite of the Beatles albums. There's so many iconic songs. Like, You're Gonna Lose That Girl, Help, of course, Ticket to Ride, Another Girl, and The Night Before. Just so many iconic songs. And, there's no other way to say it than it's absolutely amazing. Now, I wouldn't call Help the best of McCartney's work if you're judging it through that perspective, but it's definitely amazing and iconic. I'm going to put it ahead of A Hard Day's Night on the amazing tier. Rubber Soul is next. This is another iconic album with Michelle, Drive My Car, The Word. It's just incredible. I don't love it as much as Help, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely one of those albums that can get you in a really good, calm mood, you know? So, with that being said, I'm going to put it into the amazing category as well. Behind A Hard Day's Night, but ahead of Please Please Me. Next is Revolver, and before I say anything, please, I want to remind you guys, don't kill me. And I say that because I actually really have a hard time getting into this album. And I don't mean that in the way that I hate it. I honestly don't even mean it in the way that I meant it with the Beatles and Beatles for Sale. I actually mean it in a whole different way. And the meaning that I mean is I have autism spectrum disorder and ADHD. Both diagnosed, and because of those neurodivergencies, I have a really hard time getting into new things. And this stems even to things that I already enjoy. For instance, I love the show Futurama, but I only really watch like 3 episodes of the show, like on loop constantly. And this goes into music that I enjoy too. For instance, Paul McCartney. I love him a lot, but my brain only lets me listen to like 3 songs of his on loop. Same with the Beatles. I only listen to like 3 songs on loop until I hate them, and then I move on. And if you're neurodivergent, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So that's what I mean when I say I can't get into it. However, I'm going to rank it higher than okay. I'm even going to rank it higher than good. Because unlike with the Beatles and Beatles for Sale, there is a song in this album that's immaculate, and that's Eleanor Rigby. That song is unbelievably good. Godly. I would put the album in amazing, but I can't get into it enough, and I haven't listened to it enough to call it amazing. But with Eleanor Rigby in it, I will give it a great. Okay, I have no idea if my audio is working. I had to re-record Help and Rubber Soul and Revolver. Next is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Like Revolver, this is one that I really struggled with due to my neurodivergence. However, I'm going to put it even higher than Revolver because there's a lot more songs that I actually like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I hope you will enjoy the show. And of course, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I'm a shitty singer, I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to put it in the great, but ahead of Revolver. Because I'm not into it enough to call it amazing. I haven't listened to enough to call it amazing. But it's definitely iconic for, what it is. So we're gonna go right there. Okay. Next is Magical Mystery Tour. And I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. Magical Mystery Tour is my least favorite Beatles movie. There's like a dark animosity in that movie that I don't know if I'm the only one that feels it, but I feel it, and it makes it really hard to watch. The music is great. Like Fool on the Hill, Baby or Rich Man, I Am the Walrus. The music's fine, but the movie, I can't get into it. I'm not going to have the movie play into the ranking, though. I just wanted to make that clear. Um, Here's the thing. If I was ranking it by the movie, I would be mean and put it into meh. But I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna put it into good. Because, there's some songs that I like, but I'm not obsessed with them. You know what I mean? Alright, it's thundering like crazy, and I just got my eye drops in. I got severe dry eye that I'm trying to treat, behind the scenes for a while now. Anyway, it's making it kind of hard to read. But we're gonna get through it. Next is the White Album. Once again, this is one of the ones I really had a hard time getting into. But this had the excuse of, I knew at this point, this is when Yoko gets involved. I believe, the Ballad of John and Yoko is in this album, which, bleh. I don't know, it's really weird because it has a lot of good songs like Helter Skelter and, Sexy Sadie, Martha My Dear, just to name a few classic ones. Man, I'm really torn, honestly. I think I'm gonna put it as great, but behind Revolver. Alright, so this next album is kind of an outlier. Because I only know, like, 2 songs in this album off the top of my head, like literally off the top of my head. And that's Yellow Submarine, which I do not care for at all, and Hey Bulldog, which is okay. Not my favorite, but it's okay. And I don't really like the movie, because I'm not a fan of the art style. It's just ugly to me. I feel like they could have drawn the boys better, but judging off the music, yeah, I haven't heard this album much at all. And unlike the rest of the Beatles albums, I don't have this on CD. I don't have this on vinyl. And the only song I have on my Spotify list is Hey Bulldog. I was gonna put it into the haven't heard category. I was honestly debating that. But I've heard it enough to say, I've heard it enough to have an opinion. Does that make sense? And as much as it kills me to say this about a Beatles thing, I'm gonna put it into the meh category. Maybe this will change someday, and who knows, you could watch, my older video that I did in 2022, and maybe I said it is amazing, which I'm gonna be shocked if I said that. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, as of now, I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. I don't hate it. That's why it's not in the bad or awful category. But comparatively to the others, I am not a fan. Next is... Okay, I'm going to close this video ad if it'll let me. Close! Thank you. Oh, don't do the glitch again. Alright, next is Abbey Road, which I think is the final Beatles album in this thing. Oh wait, no, Let It Be's there, never mind. So we have 2 more Beatles things. Alright, so Abbey Road is iconic for a lot of different songs. Maxwell's Silver Hammer, and if you want to get into just the Beatles thing as a whole, Here Comes the Sun, which is primarily a George Harrison song, is in this one. Of course, the Abbey Road medley. Yeah, there's a lot of iconic things about this album. I kind of have an unpopular opinion, and it's that I think this album is a little bit overrated. It doesn't mean that I hate it. I love it a lot. I just think there's better work out there by them. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, you are fucking crazy by saying that. But yeah, that's just the truth. I just think it's a little bit overrated. Anyway, where am I going to put this? I'm going to put it in amazing. And I think I'm going to put it, ahead of A Rubber Soul, but behind A Hard Day's Night. No, right here. Do what I'm fucking telling you. Thank you. So again, even though I said it's overrated, that doesn't mean I hate it. I still like it a lot. I just don't think it deserves as much praise as it gets. Does that make sense? Alright, next is McCartney, the first actual solo album thing, which is what I wanted to do in this, but the Beatles stuff is thrown in here. I have no idea if this is the same list that I did in the first video in 2022, but whatever. Anyway, McCartney 1970. It's very iconic in its own way. It has Maybe I'm Amazed, Junk, Suicide, Womankind, Man We Was Lonely, just to name a few. I feel like McCartney has a lot of calm energy. It's a very calm album for me. I play it and listen to it when I'm stressed and coming out of an anxiety attack or a meltdown a lot. And maybe that's because Paul was writing it when he had really shitty mental health. I don't know. But I have a really big soft spot for this album. And as biased as this might sound, I'm going to put it into the best category. Right here. Okay, Let It Be. Of course, it has the iconic song, Let It Be. It also has Get Back. And it also has, The Long and Winding Road. So there's a lot of iconic songs, and I like it a lot, actually. This is one that really grew on me as I matured and grew up a bit, as I reached my 20s. I was 19 in the height of the COVID pandemic when I first got into the Beatles. I was very unstable, lack of a better word. Anyway, yeah, this is an album that really grew on me. And, I feel like I like it the older I get. Like, just to explain where my taste was at the time, the song that made me a fan of the Beatles was The Night Before and Another Girl, and then the song that made me a fan of Paul McCartney was Temporary Secretary. Like, I had no taste. I mean, Temporary Secretary is an amazing song, but because of how bad it is, it's a meme, okay? And then, before I was into them, I listened to Melanie Martinez, who I do not support anymore, okay? And I listened to just 2010s, whatever the hell was on the radio, Honestly, like, I was just so, like, not tasteful at all. I think I'm gonna put Let It Be into the amazing category. And I think I'm gonna put it ahead of Please Please Me, but behind Rubber Soul. No, put it where I'm fucking telling you. Thank you. I don't know if it's my iPad or the website or both, but that's really starting to piss me off. So if I sound catty, that's why. Like, it's just so annoying. And to finish the ranking for Let It Be off, I just want to explain why it's grown on me. I've been through a lot in the last 2 years. If you're a close internet friend of mine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if not, I'm not going to get into what I've been through, but the song Let It Be has really resonated with me. I really needed the messages of that song to get me through what I've been through. There were so many times where I honestly thought about giving up, taking my own life. And it's because of that song, and the album too, but that song really, I would not be alive if it wasn't for that song. I'm not even kidding. I literally would not be here. It has encouraged me to move out of my parents' house. It's encouraged me to take charge of my health. I have a lot of health issues. And it's encouraged me to get therapy. I'm in mental health therapy, like, all the time. And I have a lot of anxiety attacks about this, still, just daily. I struggle a lot. And the messages of that song just tell me, let the universe control it. Don't worry about it, And I just have to say thank you to Paul for writing that song. You really did save my life. Okay, next is Ram, 1971. I love this album a lot. It is almost my favorite album by Paul. I would say second or third. It teeter-totters around that, like, all the time. Yeah, there's so many iconic songs, like Another Day, Monkberry Moon Delight, just has amazing vocals, which reminds me, any of my younger subscribers, do any of you know the song Mystical Magical by Benson Boone? There's a line in there, it's Moonbeam Ice Cream, and I've been seeing a lot of memes of people being like, rocking out to Monkberry Moon Delight, and then they caption it with, I don't know what this Moonbeam Ice Cream is, but I'm all down for the Monkberry Moon Delight. Has anybody seen that meme? I think it's all over TikTok. I keep seeing it on Instagram Reels. But of course, a lot of those are like TikTok reposts. So I'm just curious if anybody is aware of that meme or not. I actually like both songs, which is why I find the meme really funny. It's like so clever. And I kind of wonder if Benson Boone was maybe inspired by this song for that lyric. I have no idea. Monkberry is way better than Benson's song, but they're still great songs. I'm gonna have to put Ram in the best. And I think I'm gonna put it above McCartney 1. Right there. Great. Alright. Wildlife by Wings. I've heard this album a lot. I really like the home recordings with Heather and Mary in it, and then Martha's grunting and all that stuff in it. Yeah, it's really wholesome. I think this album is Paul's most wholesome album, but is it actually good? Yeah, I would say that it's good. Wildlife has amazing vocals. I don't know. I don't know a lot about this album other than, it's Wings' first. And it's pretty good for a debut album. I think McCartney 1 works a little bit better as a debut album. I think Please Please Me works better as a debut album, personally. I don't hate it by any means, but I think I'm gonna have to put it into the good category, but on the tail end of okay, so I'm gonna put it right there. And I do apologize if my explanations don't make sense. I'm literally doing this while thinking on the spot. So there's that. Okay. Red Rose Speedway by Wings. This album is really good. It has The Mess. It has Big Barn Bed, just to name two. I really like it. This is another one that grew on me for different reasons, not really mental health reasons, just taste overall. This is another one where I'm curious as to where I ranked it when I did this originally. I think I'm going to put it into the great category, and I think I'm going to put it at the... Yeah, I think I'm going to put it right here. I was going to put it right here, but I think I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, so behind Sgt. Pepper's, but ahead of Revolver. Band on the Run. I think this is Wings' best album. I really do. Band on the Run is iconic. Mrs. Vanderbilt. 1985. Helen Wheels. A lot of classics. And like I said, it's Wings' best work, I think. I think I'm going to put it into Amazing. And I think I'm actually going to put it right here. Ahead of Abbey Road and behind A Hard Day's Night. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. I'm enjoying myself, but it's also 10 o'clock at night. and I have therapy class at 11 in the morning. It's taking so long because I have to like make sure the audio is working on all this, and then if it's not, I have to redo it, and it really throws me off. So I'm just trying to get this done. Anyway, Venus and Mars. It's an okay album. I enjoy it. I think my favorite song is Magneto and Titanium Man. I like it a lot. I feel like this is the most 70s Wings. And I didn't say anything like that for the Beatles. If I had to say real quick, I think Rubber Soul is the most 60s Beatles album. Just a little side note, but yeah. I think Venus and Mars is the most 70s album by Wings. It's decent. It's not my favorite, but it's decent. I think I would put it into the good category, but at the top end of it, right there. Wings at the Speed of Sound. Of course, this has Beware My Love, which is one of my favorites, if not my favorite Wings song. I also like Cook of the House and Let 'Em In. There's a lot of good songs too. Funny story about Let 'Em In. The psychologist who did my autism eval and my ADHD eval and all that, during our break time, he asked me if I knew that song, and we were singing it together, and he was really impressed by me that I knew it. So that was fun. So yeah, I don't know. Let 'Em In has a very special place in my heart because in a different way than the Let It Be song. Like Let It Be actually helped me through things. And then Let 'Em In, it's just tied to a good memory. I think I'm gonna put Wings at the Speed of Sound at great, but at the tail end of great. Okay. Next is McCartney 2. It was originally here, and then I put it like somewhere. So I'm just gonna put it here, and I'm gonna explain it really quickly, okay? McCartney 2 1980 is absolutely insane. I mean, this is where Temporary Secretary comes from, okay? And I'm just gonna tell you right now, you either hate that song with a burning passion, or you adore it with all your heart. There is no in-between. If you say there's an in-between, you've never fucking heard it, okay? There's also Coming Up, which literally inspired John to come out of musical retirement. There's Waterfalls, which I didn't know until I was a Paul fan that he originally did that song. I thought it was originally done by TLC, you know, that 1990s girl band that does that song, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, or whatever. Like, that's the TLC version. I had no idea that Paul originally wrote it. Literally no idea. Until I was a fan. Okay? And then there's Wonderful Christmas Time, which is literally my favorite Christmas song other than Sleigh Ride. You know? And I had no idea that he wrote that until I was a fan. Like, this album is insane. In the, like, it's so bad, it's good, but it's also freaking good. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. It's definitely not the best, that's why it's not in that category, but it's insane, and that's why it's amazing, and top tier in the amazing category, for real. Also, I want to make one little suggestion. Paul, if you watch this by some twist of fate, please play Temporary Secretary during your show in Minneapolis. Not during sound check, during the actual show, okay? Please, I'm begging you. Please play it during the actual show. Please. Okay, I am trying to get through this as quick as I can. Next is Tug of War, 1982. This has a lot of great songs. Of course, it has Ebony and Ivory and What's That You're Doing, collaboration with Stevie Wonder. It also has Dress Me Up Like a Robber, Pound is Sinking, Wanderlust, Ballroom Dancing, Just amazing songs. Really amazing songs. Just to name a few. I really like this album a lot. Um, so where should I rank it? I think I'm gonna rank Tug of War in the good category. Wait, no, that's a little rough. I think I'm gonna do great, and I think I'm gonna put it right here, ahead of Revolver, but behind Red Rose Speedway. Next is Pipes of Peace, which I think is supposed to directly correlate with Tug of War, almost like a concept album thing. And honestly, I think I'm gonna put it right next to each other. And I think I'm gonna put it right here. No, right here. No, right here. Because, and mainly because I've listened to it less. And that's literally my only explanation for that. Give My Regards to Broad Street is mainly covers of Wings and Beatles things, but I think they're really well done. To talk about the movie just very briefly, it's not a great movie. It's really not, but it's entertaining in that I like Paul McCartney kind of way, like a guilty pleasure, you know? But the songs are great. I actually like the version of Here, There, and Everywhere in this album better than Revolver, actually. I don't like the Beatles version of that song at all, really, but I love it in this album and in that movie. I think I'm gonna put Give My Regards to Broad Street in the great category, but at the tail end, right there. Okay, Press to Play. Oh, geez. I like Press. Just tell me to press. Right there. That's it. Yeah. I think this album is the most 80s. McCartney 2 is pretty damn close, but I think this has the more stylized 80s sound, if that makes sense at all. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't listen to it a lot though. Like the only thing I really listen to is Press. I think I'm gonna put this in the okay category, I think. The higher end of okay though. Actually, yeah. Off the Ground. Off the Ground is one of those again that I need to listen to more. I've definitely heard it. I just need to listen to it more. I really like Come On People, Biker Like an Icon. Like the songs that I really like. Oh yeah, Hope of Deliverance is the third one I was thinking of. Yeah, I like all those a lot actually. I think I'm gonna put it into the good category. And I think I'm gonna put it right here. Yeah. Right now. Here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. It's a lot of debating, you know? It's a lot of debating. Next is Flaming Pie. I really like The World Tonight. I really like Flaming Pie. Calico Skies is a decent listen. And it's not my favorite by any means, but I really adore the tracks that I adore. And I think I'm gonna put it in the okay category. I think that fits it the best. Yeah, about yeah, right there, I think. Next is Run Devil Run, which I think is a lot of covers. There might be a few original songs, but from what I understand, I think it's mainly covers. I haven't listened to it much, but I really like the song No Other Baby. But I don't want no other baby but you. I love that song so much. And I have a few other songs. I think I have like 2 other ones in my Spotify list, but they're not coming to my head right now. And I think I'm gonna have to put it into the meh category, but ahead of Yellow Submarine. Next is Driving Rain 2001. This album is really hard to talk about because there are several songs that I like the Heather instrumental, ironically enough, and I really like Your Loving Flame. Of course, everybody knows this as the first album officially after Linda died, and he was with Heather Mills. And because of that, I think it gets a lot of backlash. And in ways, it's kind of justified because there's a song, I think it's called Rinse the Raindrops, and all it is Paul just smacking the crap out of his drum. Like he's punching it, beating it up almost. It's a vent song. It's venting. That's what it is. And personally, I go to Paul to be happy. And I think that's what a lot of people do, and I think that's why he's famous, personally. And you just don't go to Paul to hear angsty, venting crap. And I know that, music is an outlet for that stuff. I'm not denying that. It's great that he uses it as a coping skill. It's just not what people go to. It's not what people want when they go to Paul, I would put it in the awful category for those reasons that I just said. But the reason why I can't fully hate it is because, A, I know where he was coming from. I mean, he was grieving Linda, And then, secondly, there are some songs that I like. It's bad because it's just not what you look for when you're listening to Paul, At least for me, it's not. Oh my god, every time I try to go back to the browser after I edit, I'm scared that it's gonna reset. So that's the other reason why I'm trying to rush this. Next is Memory Almost Full. This has the same but kind of opposite problem as Driving Rain. It has that angstiness, angry sound. But unlike Driving Rain, it's not grieving the death of somebody, it's grieving his failed marriage. This was written in 2007, I think, or so, during the height of his divorce to Heather Mills, and it shows. One of my favorite songs is Only Mama Knows. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put it into the meh category. Holy fucking crap. My editor, iMovie, isn't letting me record my damn voice. I just want this video to be done. I'd be enjoying myself, but my iPad's being a little bitch, and it's pissing me off. Anyway, next is Kisses from the Bottom. I really like the song, My Valentine, that he wrote about Nancy Chevelle, his current wife, but honestly, I did not grow up with 1940s jazz, which is what most of this album is. I'm 24, my mom is 44, my dad's 49, my grandparents were born in the 50s. I did not grow up with that stuff at all, and that's why I gotta put it into the bad category. No hate to Paul, I know he grew up with it, and his voice is fine, but I just can't get into it. It's just not my genre. I like 1920s, boop boop ba doop, Betty Boop stuff, but it has energy to it, I guess, lack of a better term. Okay, there's only 5 albums left, and I decided to eat some Wales crackers to pass the time. Alright, next is New, 2013. His first album after marrying Nancy. This album definitely has a mood shift in a positive direction. It has a lot of my favorite songs. Queenie Eye, Everybody Out There, and New. On a side note, does anyone know the weird animated film that New appears in? If you don't, it's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. I have no idea why. It's in the opening, well, not the very opening scene, but when Flint Lockwood goes to his new science town or whatever, and it's really weird. That whole franchise is known for using weird music. Although the weird song they used in the original movie kind of made sense. In the original Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie, they use Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows, Everything That's Wonderful by Leslie Gore, which kind of fits the plot, right? But what does new have to do? What does Paul McCartney's song "New" have to do with with the franchise of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? I fail to understand. I mean, no hate to the song. I love the song. But there's just a weird little fun fact about it. Like, why is that in that movie? Why? Explain that to me. Anyways, where would I rank the album New? I think I'm gonna put it into the great category. And I think I'm gonna put it right there, in front of Sgt. Pepper's. I love it a lot. I don't know if that album has a big fan base or not, but I love it. Especially because on CD I have the collector's edition, which has Struggle, Hell to Pay, and Demon's Dance extra tracks, which I absolutely love. Okay, we're almost done. We have 4 more to go. And hopefully we can get through it pretty quick. Next is Egypt Station 2018, Jesus Christ. I think this is my favorite. I think this is my favorite album by Paul. I love Come On To Me. I am so looking forward to seeing that live. I also love, from the Explorers edition, Frank Sinatra's Party. I like, Despite Repeated Warnings, which, if anybody knows the subtle meaning of that song, I applaud you. Anyways, I'm gonna have to put it into the best. And, yeah, right there. I was gonna put it above Ram, but that's not fair. Ram is better. Ram is better, but only by a hair. Like, basically, Egypt Station is my personal favorite, but from, like, a musical historian perspective, Ram is better. Does that make sense? Attempting this is probably gonna murder my iPad. Holy fuck. Next is McCartney 3, 2020, his newest album. Alright, I am really biased with this album. It came out months after I became a fan. Like, I think he teased it, like, the month I became a fan. And, like, I don't remember if I got ads for it randomly, and that's how I became a fan, or what the fuck the deal was. But I'm very biased. And I think, if I remember correctly to my 2022 video, I think I ranked it great, or good. But as the years go on from 2020, it's not that good. It's not. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not that good either. His voice is okay. I mean, he was, 78 when he made that album? 2020? Yeah, he was 78. And it was COVID. So, I mean, it's definitely not terrible. And he has his excuses. And I think the reason why I was so into it was because, like, oh my god, my new stan is releasing something right when I became a fan. Like, that kind of hype. And then COVID. COVID was insane. COVID was insane. Literally, that's all there is to it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put it into okay. Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I think I put it into the great category in my original video, but it's not great. It's not. It's not. I think I'm gonna put it right there, though. The top of okay, though. Flowers in the Dirt is one that I have not heard very much. It's weird, because I know I've listened to it, but I don't have an opinion on it at all. I really don't. Yeah, I can't think of a single song that... Oh, I know. Oles... God, it's like French. It's Oles, a sole, and the music video for it is like an SNES game, or NES game, like Super Nintendo, like super 80s side-scroller. Please, somebody know what I'm talking about. I'm not hallucinating that. That's a real song. I think I'm gonna have to put it into the meh category, like right in the fucking middle, right there. Lastly, this is the end. Thank God. and it's Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. I love this album a lot. This is another one that kind of grew on me. I always liked it, but it grows on me every time I listen to it. And I think I'm gonna have to put it into the good category. Right here. I really like Promise to You Girl. I really like Fine Line, Jenny Wren. Yeah, there's a lot of good songs. I really like it. It's not the best, but it's decent. All right, that's it. That is my Paul McCartney album list updated. This was a slog to get through. Not because of the music. The music is awesome. I love talking about it. But my iPad was making it so miserable. So miserable. And I hope you guys enjoyed it anyways. I hope it was at least funny. Remember again, if you want to argue, at least do it civilly. And honestly, let's just pray you're able to see this video. Because the way my iPad's acting, this might all be for naught. So I don't know, man. Like, making this killed me because my iPad is just acting up. I have like no data on it anymore. So it just wants to do whatever the hell it wants to do. So hopefully you guys can see it. Hopefully it'll upload. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.